Alright guys, welcome back to another Yo Spilt video. So tonight what we are going to focus on is the CSX and the suspension problem. So I haven't really mentioned it in any videos, but this car has all original lower control arm bushings, tie rod ends, and everything. To say it is sketchy driving it is an understatement. This thing tries to pull off the road with very little throttle input. Especially on some big drag radials. So what we are going to do tonight is we ordered a full Moog, however you actually pronounce this company's name, problem solver kit. We have all new control arm, inner outer tie rod ends, bushings, and so basically we are going to replace everything on the lower front suspension of the car so that we can get a good alignment on it and actually get the car to go straight for once. We do plan on tracking this very soon, and without the car going straight down the track, it is kind of sketchy. So I'm going to put you guys on a short little time lapse. We'll get the pulling the front suspension apart and show you a little step-by-step on how to do this properly. Alright guys, so this is the rack off of the CSX. And if you see right there, all that play. If we go on this side, it's nice and solid. We have all new bushings, so tie rod ends. So of course we're gonna definitely replace both of them, but that was definitely what was loose in the front. And then this was nice and sloppy, whereas this one is nice and stiff. So these were probably replaced at some point because this one is in good condition. And these are probably original, and you can even see these are black here and nice and rusty here. So put you guys back onto the time lapses. There's gonna be a lot of time lapse in this video. We got the camera out the car. We're gonna clean that. We're gonna clean up all these parts and put it back together. Alright guys, so for those of you that have never rebuilt a rack before, this is not really something you see much on YouTube. So I will be to show you and kind of learn. I've never done a Daytona rack before, but I've done a Daytona. I've never done a CSX rack before. So basically, once you get that whole assembly apart, you have to remove your old inner and outer tie rod ends. If you guys don't know the difference between an inner and outer, the inner, of course, is the part that hooks to the rack. The outer is the part that hooks to the spindle. So the reason why you do that is so that you can get these things off. Your tie rod kits usually don't come with new, I guess they're called dust covers. So basically throw it in a vise, break loose the seizure nut, get your old, this thing's actually not that bad, it just has a really stiff point in the middle. It's kind of weird for a tie rod end to be that way, but yeah, you pull this off. And you see how dirty this shit is. I hate this. This is why I always tell my brother to clean all this stuff before. Tell him to pressure wash the car and everything. So, but yeah, if you're working at a regular mechanic shop, you don't get that luxury. You're gonna be dirty. And I don't like working with gloves, so my hands stay dirty. But yeah, basically the only reason you're doing this is just to get this dust cover off so that you can transfer it. And if you just use the whole thing right here, you can pop it all back out. Push through from the center. Boom. Push this back together. And then of course I'm going to take these. Literally it's just a cover. Does absolutely nothing mechanically. But of course I'm going to take those and clean those as well. And then see how loose this is. But yeah, now we're going to get to cleaning all these parts. And then we'll get to reassembly. All right, guys, so we have the whole suspension back together except for the bottom sway bar brackets. We had a good friend, Steven Morris, make us a custom set of front coilovers for this car. So when we go to the track, the car will be a lot stiffer in the front. Basically, it's a factory Mopar coil and top hat with a custom adapter he makes that will make a, ground control or any type of coilover sleeve fit right onto an old school turbo Dodge. I think this is what our second or third set of these we have, and they work really well. They're decently cheap for what you need, and you can adjust your car after that. So now that we got the whole front suspension put back together, we will, as you can see, this alignment's way off. I'll do a little ghetto alignment. If you've watched my channel before, go back to an old video where I have Lavaca sitting on the ground and I do an alignment on her. Same technique, except for now everything is brand new, so it'll be a lot more, within spec. But same technique, same procedure. Put the car down, put the weight on it, line the wheels up, use a tape measure, measure to the same spot on both wheels, 1/8 inch in, 1/8 inch out, however you want to set it up. Most people try to set it to 0. If you do 0, it might pull on acceleration or decel. I usually tow it in an 1/8 inch, and then when you hit the gas, the car will pull straight. So that should be it for this video. We'll do another clip of once we have the coils on, everything on the ground and adjusted, and then probably a nice little drive-by, because I haven't had this car on video in a long time. Alright guys, so here is a comparison. A standard stock strut and spring off of Turbo Dodge versus the new ones. You can see how much smaller down here is. What this really allows us to do is put a much bigger tire without ever worrying about this hitting. Once you go to 235 front tire, 235, 245 front tire, you run into a lot of clearance issues with this part right here. So when you do this style of spring and shock on a Turbo Dodge, you can run a much wider front tire. People have put up to 26 inch front slicks on these cars. You do have to trim and cut a lot, but Turbo Dodge is very simple. There's two 21mm bolts right here, and then there's three 13mm bolts up here, and that's all it takes to take the coilover off. So I'm gonna put you guys on the time lapse. I'm gonna put the new coilovers on, and then we will get to adjusting the tow, and we should be done with this car for now. Alright guys, so I don't know if you can really tell in this video about how much lower this thing is in the front, but I didn't really do it before, but we have a basic 2-finger gap now on the front, and just for comparison, the rear suspension is still stock, and yeah, whole fist. So that'll be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. As always, hit the bell icon if you want notifications on the next Yoast Built video. Give us a like and subscribe. And as always, you guys are the greatest. Have a good night.